Hey, how's it going? This is Zach Stamps, and this is my 2021 Berkeley Bootcamp NoSQL Challenge for Mod 18. I call this Family Social. This is a social media app, um, backend primarily at the moment, that is just needed for people to be able to create accounts and friend each other and make posts or thoughts in this case. The dependencies for this, once you download the repository, is you'll see here that I do have NodeMon. That was primarily just for my build, although it's not entirely necessary for this project. I use Express Moment Mongoose and .env and NodeMon, like I had said. .env was just solely to hide the login information for my MongoDB database that I have here. So I have set up a MongoDB database that you'll see as Family Social. That includes my thoughts, parameter, and my users parameter or table. So what you'll do is to install this, once you download this repository, is you'll need to first type in npm-i to install all of your dependencies. Once you're ready there, you can then type npm start to start the server. Once the server is booted up and ready to go, you'll be presented with this backend server is running on localhost 3001. As programmed here as needed in 3001, you'll notice that I do not have a local database set up on this Mongo Connect, or Mongoose, using this Mongoose Connect. This is solely requiring a MongoDB database to be installed and ready, or connected and ready to be used. Okay, so first thing we'll do is, like I said, we have this these tables already built, and you'll notice that they're empty at the moment. So we'll need to start everything over. You'll notice as I get into get all users that when I hit send, you're not going to see anything, although we do have a 200 successful connection here, and that's because, like I said, there's nothing in users at the moment. So what we'll have to do is register a new user, and we'll register an Emily to start off with. So we're going to start with Emily1, and you can see here that she has been created with absolutely no friends because she's the first user here, and no thoughts because she hasn't even been logged in yet. So what we'll do is we'll replace, we will now add myself. And because it's looking for duplicate emails to assure that you already have an account or not, it's looking for that. So I have to make sure that I add my own personal email address. Password doesn't necessarily matter. So let's go ahead and add that. So you'll see now that we are both added to the database. So you'll see myself and her, and you'll notice, like I said, the friends and thoughts. We'll make each other friends here in just a second, just to show you. But what we'll also do is show you that I am now added, or these arrays are now added to the Mongo database, just to show that they are connected. Cool. So what we'll do now is update a user. So in order to update the user, let's go back to get all users, and we'll update myself. So let's go ahead and grab my ID, and we're going to update my name. So let's update this ID here with my new one. I think I just replaced that. And we're going to call this Zacko 1.1 is my user, my now new username, which has been updated there, and you'll see that. All right, so just to show that that actually did go through, let's hit send again, and you'll notice that my name has been updated to 1.1. Cool, cool. I'll start. Now what we're going to do is we're going to friend each other. So we're going to take Emily's ID, and it's going to say Emily, so this is her ID, is going to be friends with Zach, which is going to be my new ID. So we'll take my new ID here, go back to make a friend, and we'll replace this new number, with the new number. All right, so go ahead and hit send on that, and we'll show that Emily is now my friend, or I should say I am Emily's friend. And we can go back now to get all users and show that again. Let's hit send again. You'll see that, like I said earlier, that both arrays are empty. We'll hit send again, and we'll see that now I am Emily's friend, and Emily is my friend. Cool, cool. All right, so we made friends. So now what we're going to do is post a thought. So I'm going to post a thought as myself. So just to be 100% sure, let's go back up to myself. We'll copy my ID there. Copy my ID there. I'm going to post a thought as myself, and we're going to take my user ID. All right, and then my user name, which is actually Zacko 1.1, right? And this is going to be, this is my first thought post from Zacko 1.1. All right, let's go ahead and send that. So you'll see here that now my thought has been added to my account and my ID. So not only do I have a friend, I also have a thought or a comment post. All right, so let's see, let's just do the same thing, I guess. No, actually, to make this video shorter, let's not make one for Emily, but let's get a thought by ID. So in order to do that, so we'll have to find the thought ID number that I just made. We'll go to get a thought by ID, and we'll replace this ID with the new thought ID I just made, and that should pop up. So there's my new thought. This is my first post. Okay. So let's update that thought. Let's move this up here. So that thought ID number here, I'm going to replace that with the new thought ID, and this is my revised post from Zacho. Okay. This is my revised post from Zacho. That is how it goes. So now let's go back up to get thought by ID and see if that's been changed. So this is my first post. We'll hit send, revise it, and now it's been revised. Cool. And to get all thoughts, like if I made one for Emily or not, it would have shown hers there as well. So let's add a reaction on Emily's side to my reaction. So let's go to get all friends again. I'm going to take Emily's ID because she's going to be the one reacting to my post. That's actually the thought ID. So let's go back to thought ID and grab that thought ID. And we're going to replace this with the thought ID. And then this is going to be Emily, the username. So we need to get Emily's username to update Emily1 to add a reaction. So Emily is going to be reacting. So this is Emily's all right, and you can see there that she has now reacted to my post. So what we're going to do is add delete her reaction. So what I believe actually is this ID. I get these confused still, even though I wrote this. I think what this is this is the reaction. No. We need the thought ID to delete. Yep. Okay, so now her reaction has been deleted from my thought. So let's go back up to thought ID again and see if the reaction has been deleted. Okay, so delete that thought now. So what we're going to do is grab this ID from the thought that we just produced. We're going to replace it with this old ID and replace that thought entirely, which shows that it's been deleted. So let's go back up and see if it actually has been deleted. And you'll see that it's gone. It is deleted. So now let's unfriend Emily. And what we're going to do is the same thing that we did with making the friend, essentially. It's just going to be a delete. So let's just go back up to make a friend and copy and paste all of this, all these parameters, because it includes the right IDs, the new IDs of Emily and myself. And we'll just replace this with the new one. So we'll hit send there, and it successfully is now, we are successfully no longer friends. And just to show that again, so let's go back to get all users. You'll see that the friends there, and then not only that, the friends count, right? Pay attention to that as we load. Friends count is 0. Friends array is empty now. And let's delete a user. So what we're going to do is delete myself because I no longer want to be on this app. So we're going to go delete user, and we're going to replace this user number or ID with my new ID, and we're going to delete myself. All right, so it says that it's been successfully deleted. And so now what we're going to do is go back to get all users. You'll see that both of us are here. Now that I hit refresh and send, Emily is the only one left in the array. And then just to delete her as well, let's copy her ID, go back to delete a friend, delete a user, replace my ID with her new ID now. We're going to hit send on that, and it was successfully deleted. So now let's go back up to get all users, just to show. Emily's the last one in here. I've already deleted myself. I'm now going to delete Emily, and now there are no more people in the database. And let's just see here. So I see myself and Emily in the database, and let's refresh this, and let's see if I actually am deleted. So no thoughts are there any longer. They've been deleted. And the users themselves are deleted as well. So MongoDB is actually talking to the server, and it's working properly the way it's supposed to. Thank you very much for your time on watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it.